Hello, everybody, and welcome to Button Session 0 for Known Realms Tolesh. Before we get into anything, Button, who are you? What do you do? And where can the people find you?
Button.
Eat my fucking ass, dude.
I'm Bluebluebutton on social media. Yes, my pronouns are they, them. I'm trying to remember what else I have to say. I imagine by the time you're watching this, I'm playing an Unearthed Inheritance also on this channel.
Yes.
Do you want to start over?
Do you want to start over?
No!
No, I don't. I'm good.
Okay.
So, yeah. Unearthed, yeah. That should definitely be out by the time these go out. So, all that good shit. Hi, everybody. My name is Alec. My pronouns are he, him, and I am the Dungeon Master of Known Realms Tolesh. I also play as Finn Reese on Heroes of Asteria Unearthed Inheritance here on this channel as well. And I do other stuff on places and things. Button and I are actually doing a podcast together. Table Talk RPG, which...
Table Talk RPG.
Funny story. I didn't realize that it was the same acronym as TTRPG. I sent Button a message thinking that I had discovered something incredible. They laughed.
You did. Well, you.
I didn't realize it.
You came up with the title, and I was like, "Oh, that's brilliant! It's TTRPG." And then, like 5 weeks later.
Yeah, it was. That's the thing too. It was so long after we picked that name, and I was like, "Whoa, it's TTRPG, Button," and you're like, "Yes, yeah." All right, guys. Thank you so much for being here. I'm just kidding. Button, are you ready to dive in to Known Realms Tolesh?
Yeah.
All right. The Book of Aosha opens once more. The pages turn not forward, but backwards. Last we saw this world, it was in the midst of a technological advancement and a horrific magical decline. In the current year, 946 PS, that is not the case. Mistra is alive and well. The Weave is intact, and Tolesh is a burgeoning continent post the world-altering Scale Scourge. Even 9 centuries out from this tyrannical rule, the scars Tiamat left still mar these lands. The trilateral government of the realm are friendly enough. The Republic of Shenthir and the Kingdom of Kolderol have a functioning relationship, if not a bit of a wary one. Most concern comes from the nations of Driften declaring sovereignty just about a year ago. With the capital of Sunwall leading the charge for independence, active efforts are being made to form a union separate from the Republic of Shenthir and the Kingdom of Kolderol, respectively. Whispers on the wind state that the Solar Guard are forming as the army of Driften, though these have not been corroborated. If sovereignty is achieved, Headmistress Filgwyn Celto of the Sunwall Academy will rule over Driften. These details are important, but they are not the focus of the story we're telling. We flip through these pages to find one of our 5. Cobblestone streets are riddled with palpable confusion and fear. I'm just going to cut that out. The details are important, but not the focus of the story we're telling. We flip through these pages to find one of our 5. The cobblestone streets are riddled with the palpable confusion and fear of the local populace. Smoke billows from a temple to the alloyed pantheon near the center of town, a statue to Coralon Rethian beginning to buckle under the heat. This town's central streets filling with guards and individuals dressed in purple militaristic garb trying to maintain order amidst growing chaos. The individual we now turn to is difficult to introduce, as they do not remember who they are, the details of their life left horrifically blank. Let us dive deeper and learn more as we experience their first memory. Button, take it away.
The first thing Echinacea can remember is kneeling. They were kneeling in blood. Around them there was fire, ash, and silence, and 3 looming figures. The silence belonged to the 3. These figures stood before Echinacea like sentinels, or judges. It dragged on, that silence. And so Echinacea's first memory is a strange thing. Red ashen, shadowy, devoid of sound. The tallest of the three broke the silence. He looked like he was used to breaking things. Tall, broad, muscled to excess, a glaive resting on his shoulders. It twitched when he spoke. Let me kill them. Those are the first words Echinacea remembers hearing. Quiet on the tongue, but the way they tore the silence in twain was thunderous. But the would-be killer was still after he had spoken. His eyes, fixed on Echinacea for so long, flicked to a slender figure, a woman whose rapier had been resting beneath Echinacea's chin since before Echinacea could remember. No. The no was even quieter, and even more thunderous. And so another silence took root. It was almost visible, slithering across each figure like bindings, winding around Echinacea's neck like a terrible promise of a noose. Did hours pass? It was hard to say. Echinacea waited, and slowly, through the choking weight of the silence, they began to take stock of their body. Why did it feel as if they had been running for days? Why was there so much blood? Was it their own? No. At least not all of it. And then the silence was broken. One by one, the three figures towering over Echinacea spoke. Not to Echinacea, though their eyes kept finding the Aasimar. What thoughts lurked behind each of those looks? Some were easier to read than others. What Echinacea could read did not bode well. Three voices murmured, hissed, resounded for brief moments before falling back to a hush. Echinacea remained kneeling, dazed, exhausted, barely able to cling to any fear of the blade beneath their chin. A question blooming behind their eyes. Why? And then the blade was gone. Strong arms lifted Echinacea to their feet by the nape of their neck. If looks could kill, the big man would have dropped Echinacea back to the ground in an instant. A hand touched Echinacea's arm. The first human touch in Echinacea's memory. It wasn't what they expected, given the strange and terrible situation they found themselves in. It was oddly gentle and almost familiar. The face of this man. For an instant, Echinacea knew it, and then he was a stranger once more. A stranger whose touch bore them away from the blood, the ash, the flame, the silence.
So, after this immediate memory, Echinacea is taken through the back of what seems to be a temple of sorts. That much is obvious. There's iconography that is unfamiliar, but familiar. Give me a perception check.
A perception check?
Yes, please.
My first roll, what's my perception? Not excellent. 14.
14. You're able to immediately clock these rows of pews that are more pushed aside than they are broken. That leads to this dais, this collection of statues, one only missing. Give me an investigation check.
Okay. What's my investigation? +7. So that is a questioning 20.
Questioning 20. You're able to catch the name on the placard where it looks like these small icons reflecting what you imagine to be deities. One missing the name Coralon Larethian. is what you see on a placard in front of this empty space. But before much else investigation is to be had, you are quickly taken out and put into a wagon. You're sat, these three figures, the big man, as you've so aptly called him, this hulking half-orc figure, gray skin tone, glaive resting is a light term, sitting across his lap as he looks at the inside of the cart. The woman, whose rapier rested under your chin, goes to drive, immediately picking up in speed. His movement is noticed from you as the man whose hand touched your arm, human man, blonde, distraught looking, angry, sits next to you, looks down. Let me see your wrists.
They look up at their wrists. They don't understand the question.
Yeah, puts shackles on them. And you're able to see these arcane glyphs. Not that you would be able to cognize them that way. Emitting light as you are able to feel, once again, not even being able to cognize that it is this magical essence that you have, beginning to feel lessened, dimmed, as these anti-magic handcuffs are put on you. The human man looks at the big man and says, well, we'll take them to Alden Gate, and I will conduct my interviews there. Fine. That's what you think is best. Zonri to Alden Gate. Of course. As speed begins to pick up, your journey taking no more on cart, you are moving at rapid speed. Not rapid speeds, but you're moving at a quick pace. It takes the better part of a week, probably about 5 days, to travel from where you were to this city. As you look, this city is beautiful. High walls, this ivory tower in the center.
What did it look like? I'm so sorry.
No, please.
The 5 days of travel?
Mm-hmm.
What did that look like?
Absolutely.
Echinacea, this is all new.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What did that landscape look like?
You saw the beautiful switch from the end of summer months, these bright flowers ranging across these beautiful fields, slowly turn colder, not freezing, but after a certain point, about halfway through your journey, the winds are actively more present. The smell of this very sharp winter breeze becoming more and more apparent.
Still fields, or is it they're like rocky terrain?
It still looks like fields at this point. It's almost when a storm is on the horizon, right? And you kind of get the midst of it, or the scent of it before it comes. It's still fields up into a certain point, which is probably toward the tail end, the last day or two, where you start to see more mountain ranges. You could see them further off in the distance the entire time, but they're getting closer as you approach. A little more hill and mountainous, especially when you get up to the city. What you imagine is that chill and that scent is the snow-capped mountains just a bit further behind the city that you've approached.
To the north of it?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think they given the very little information they know about these people, I don't think they say anything.
That makes sense. But yes, you are not brought through the city gates. You pass them on the side. What is your passive investigation?
17.
Damn, that's good. You see these city walls, these city gates, that are not only guarded by these knight-looking figures in this ivory armor, but you do see individuals wearing similar enough garb to the individuals that picked you up. These purple militaristic-like wares with this quite militaristic regalia on top of it. It is what?
Any iconography?
Ooh, yes, you are able to see, because 17 you said? Absolutely. On the breast of a lot of these uniforms, and you're able to see them on the blonde-haired man in the cart as well, is this this eye that is aflame. And with the passive investigation, you're able to, I'm going to give that to you. From the temple that you left, you saw a similar looking eye and the name Ayun mentioned. So you're able to easily connect that dot, given what you saw in the temple and what you see there.
Okay.
But you are moved past these gates, and you are moved into an area with these large stone castle-looking areas. You're kind of taken up, and everything begins to come to a halt. There's not a lot of fanfare here as you're taken to the back of a building, and you hear the woman who you've heard referred to as Henri more than once. Right, what pact? We will get you both inside. Big man looks. I'll make sure nobody bothers us. As he steps off, the weight displacing how the cart was, exactly, just lifting you a bit as the human man looks. We're going to put you in a room, give you time to think, and then we are going to question you. Do you understand?
Time to think?
Yes.
Is the man going to kill me?
No. Not right now. We need to know what you know.
What am I supposed to know?
The visible frustration growing more on his face. This is obviously an individual who thinks you know something. Well, that's what we're giving you time to think about. As he, the same gentleness, takes the back of your arm, walks you off of the cart. You see the same iconography scattered across these buildings, this eye with this flame emitting from the iris. Stone walls sort of up, stone buildings sort of up on these hills. They're large. They look like castles. But you can see people coming in and out, sort of trading books and talking about the mundane. But as you enter, you are ferried through a very dark and cold hallway. And you are walked into a room that is not hellish by any means. It's plain. There are two flowers sitting on the windowsill. The windows are barred. And you see similar sigils lining the walls, the same sigils that line your wrists. But as you enter the room, this individual looks, unlocks the manacles, takes them, We will bring you food and clothes if you need it.
Why? Why? What? Unaware of anything's reasoning.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Well, he is going to... Obviously, you're not lying, so I'm not going to ask you to make a deception check here. But he's going to roll an insight. You stole something. And before that, you'd killed somebody. Someone very important. The thing you stole, I believe, was a mockery, but I want to know why.
I killed someone?
This man who, I'll give you the full description now, stands at about 5'7". This militaristic blonde hair, a bit messier given a week's worth of travel. There's not a lot of upkeep you're able to do on yourself. He wears this purple cloak, but with this blue militaristic tunic, silver details, with a grimoire at his side, tall black boots. He stands, looking quite obviously saddened. Not just anybody. Well, it seems like the time to think will be necessary. If you need anything, you can ask for Casimir, which is myself. Shuts the door. You hear, Ross, bring them food and clothes. Yeah, of course. Whatever you need, Casimir. And
They sit right down on the ground and try to remember killing someone.
Perfect. Would you like to describe what Echinacea looks like? I don't think we've done that yet.
Yeah, sorry.
No, we're enthralled with the really big roleplay happening. You know, you're good.
Sorry.
No, don't apologize.
Echinacea, they them pronouns, is a very petite individual. They look to be maybe in their mid-20s. They're about 5 feet tall.
I love them.
They're very pale. They have these pale brown eyes that seem flecked with a little bit of gold, and this mass of blonde curls that kind of float off behind them. And they've only just... They haven't seen it, so they don't know that anything weird is happening back there.
No. Fair enough. Yeah, fair enough.
Very delicate, very soft. And they sit on the ground and they try and remember.
Okay. You sit for what is probably an hour, just kind of focusing on this thought. Unfortunately, something does come to you. It's in flashes. You see what looks to be a blue-horned man, a tiefling, in almost the exact wear that you saw who you now know as Casimir. The vision starts, your memory starts with your hand inside of this individual's chest, pulling the heart from their body. The next flash is his body limp on the ground, pooling blood around him. You do remember. In addition, you gain these momentary flashes as you're sitting here, focusing. What is going through Echinacea's mind right now? Is it just remember?
Not now that they've gotten that, it's I'm a murderer.
Mm-hmm.
They look at what is now dried blood
Mm-hmm.
all over themselves. They try to remember why.
As you sit and focus on another memory, trying to grab at something, an answer.
That memory. They try to go into those flashes and recover their memory of why they would kill someone. What their motivation was in that moment.
The motivation that hits your mind is just anger. This deep, relentless anger toward this individual that you're not even able to put a name to. It feels stark and different from, I imagine, the range of emotions that you've been feeling since you woke up.
They haven't been feeling a wide range. It's been mostly fear, I think.
In stark contrast to that fear is this white-hot anger. This almost get-out-of-my-way mentality, not anything personal to this particular individual, but a means to push forward. And with this time moving, after about an hour, another hour, so probably 2 in this room at max, there is a soft knocking on the door.
I can't open it.
No, I know. Can I come in? Are you decent?
I think I'm a bad person.
Oh. The door slowly opens, as you see this half-orc individual. Short, cropped black hair, heavily scarred on the side of his face, though a warm expression shoots in your direction. Something that has been uncommon. He wears pretty dinged-up plate, but the same purple cloak that you've seen around you over the course of the last couple hours. I think people make bad decisions. I don't know if that makes any of us bad. I brought food and a change of clothes. My name is Ross.
Hello, Ross.
Hi.
Thank you.
Of course. If there's anything else you need, I'm not supposed to, but I could drop off some tea or something. Maybe calm the nerves a little bit. Well, I'll be stationed outside all night, so if your mind changes. And what was your name? A glimpse of what your name is hits your brain space. It would have over the course of the 2 hours.
Echinacea.
Echinacea. Well, in the morning I'm gonna drop off some more flowers. It's a good name. You can tell that he understands the gravity of why you're here. That doesn't stop his, what seems to be just kind warmth that just radiates off of this individual. You can see once or twice that there is this initial push to physically comfort, if that's a hand on a shoulder, but he notices the very shocked state that they're in and just doesn't engage that way. Like I said, I'm Ross. I'm going to be outside. If you need anything, just shout or ask calmly. Okay.
Thank you, Ross.
You're welcome, Echinacea. All right. He sort of stands up, shuts the large stone door, locks it behind him. And you can see he does, there is a small, what looks to be curtain on this barred portion of the door. He does shut it. Just to give some sort of privacy.
I think it takes them a while to change. I think they stare at the blood for a long time before finally cleaning up. And I think they go to bed just thinking of that tiefling man's face.
Okay. As you go to bed, if the day was not strange enough, you're hit with what feels like a dream. But the dream is oddly vivid, is oddly familiar. You recall these quick, it's faint and hazy, and these very fast glimpses. What looks to be an amber crystalline pod. Elven soldiers dressed in black and silver-lined armors, and a large flaming phoenix overhead. The surroundings of you are encased in ice and snow. Your dream or this vision or this memory, whatever it is, flashes to you, feeling the wind hitting your face, the warmth as you look down this phoenix that you sit atop of, soaring over the sky. As you look over to your right, you see an eerie, black, raven-like creature flying next to you, and an elven figure, feminine, wearing this black icicle crown. As she begins to dive towards you, the last thing you remember is her grabbing you. But you remember, you feel it, as you pull back the feather of a phoenix in your hand. You wake up in a cold sweat. The same feather in your hand.
They get up.
Okay.
And they go knock on the door. Ross, I
Yeah, yep.
I'm sorry. I think
No, you're good.
I think someone brought me here to do really bad things, and I don't.
Okay. The door quickly opens. He kind of looks. What makes you think that? You see his hand is sitting on the hilt of his sword. Not pulling it, but ready.
They back up, I think, afraid of it.
Absolutely, absolutely. He doesn't seem to take that personally. He's just like...
I can't. I don't know if a phoenix brought me to do something bad, or if I think they just kind of panic.
Yeah, absolutely. He does take his cloak off and wrap it over them if they allow. The hand quickly takes off from the hilt, but he sort of wraps them in it.
I think they kind of shrink, but they don't fight it.
Yeah. He just kind of, I don't think phoenixes are particularly known for the evil they do. It's quite the opposite.
I don't know it.
Okay, well, you got some time before Casimir's gonna take you to the mistress? And before they question you? Just try to breathe. Sorry. Yeah.
Why?
Because it's obvious you're in a bit of distress.
That's not your fault.
No, but I'm the one here right now. So, I'm gonna go get tea.
I don't want... I don't want you to get in trouble. I just wanted to... They told me to think, and I found something.
Okay, he does jot it down in a notebook. Phoenix, anything else?
A really big raven.
Big bird.
A raven.
Raven, big raven. You see him cross out the word bird.
And an elven lady with a black icicle crown. And amber crystals and soldiers wearing black and silver.
You see...
Sorry.
No, please continue.
And ice and snow.
You see as you continue to kind of explain these flashes of what you've seen, right? These instances of memories that have sort of hit your brain space in your sleep. Jeebus. His demeanor gets more and more serious, not directly antagonistic, but with what you're saying, he's just sort of, okay, that is okay, and just jotting it down. Okay, I'll give this to who I need to. I don't know how that time frame changes, but when they're ready for you, you'll know. We'll come and get you. Do you need a... People here, prisoners, are allowed a book. Do you want a book? Okay. Anything, fiction, non-fiction? That's a great question, isn't it?
Whatever you think is best.
I got something good. He comes back with a... No. What?
Nothing.
He comes back with a very small, unfortunately, storybook called The Matron's Dance. It is this deep purple bound book with the head of a raven on it. If you spend time to read it, it is a collection of stories of people's engagements with the Raven Queen. This deity tied to the Feywild, or not the Feywild, the Shadowfell, the Death, Winter. These stories range from fearful to calm. And it is just an anthology of stories of people engaging with this entity. There are a lot of sweet moments, and you can see that there are some where he's written his initials. He's like, best part. There's a particular one where she dances with an elderly halfling man, which is the title of the book itself. He is a low-level lord who gave everything he had to the people of his small hamlet, and the Raven Queen showed a kindness and gave him one last dance. But that is the book that he gives you, at least for this little short bit of time.
Thank you.
Of course. All right. Well, try to rest. And as Ross departs, we will move toward the end of the first month that you're here. Unfortunately, bureaucracy and red tape keeps the line of justice quite long. There are a lot of things to be handled, and there is a knock on your door as Casimir. Echinacea, it's Casimir. We are ready for you.
I can't open it.
This is the start of it. It's the heavy RP where we can't keep it together. I can't open it. You do hear this just, yes, I'm aware. As this metal slat sort of...
Why did you ask?
What the stink face? Fuck you! As this metal slat just sort of opens, stick your hands through here. Up to the middle of your forearms. The initial? All right, just...
For them, they wait till fucking lose their arms. They're like, I deserve this.
As you feel the manacles hit your wrists again.
Okay.
The door unlocks and opens. It is Casimir standing there with Ross. Right, we are going to go see the Mistress of the Arcanum. And I am going to conduct my interview with you. Ross has given me what you told him when you got here. Let's go. As he sort of takes a step back and lets you exit the room.
I don't know where I'm going.
He, similarly to when you entered the wagon outside of that temple, he does kind of lightly grab the back of your arm and just begins to lead. Ross is behind you, sort of just humming, he seems aloof. He's incredibly present, Ross is, but there is just this strange warmth that should not be present in a place and time like this. Casimir's a lot more stoic and quiet. Looking down at you in these passing fleeting moments that you manage to make eye contact with him, he quickly kind of looks away. These glimpses of confusion, that anger and sadness still very present. As you walk down a flight of stairs into this large room laid with tables. It is still quite empty, much like your room. There is a banner to the Magus Arcanum sitting behind a figure sitting at the head of the table. A dark-skinned black woman with this large afro that is braided on one side of her head but free and flowing on the other. She wears this white gown with this purple armored accented regalia. She sort of sits. Casimir, it's good to see you. Echinacea, I am Madame Zarini. Please take... Hello. Ross, you are dismissed. Of course, my lady. See you later. Good luck, Echinacea, Casimir. Casimir's like, goodbye, Ross. very... He's a himbo. But you sit down. You see as Casimir sort of sits you in this chair, not too far from Madame Zarini, but locking the manacles on the side of the chair, making sure that there is no movement. But he does You see as he goes back and prepares a bench and some equipment, what looks to be components of some sort. Right. Hello, I'm Madame Zarini.
Hello.
You're Echinacea, right?
Yes.
What is there you would wish to tell me at this point in time right now?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
For what?
For the man. The man. I'm sorry.
Do you remember doing it? Do you remember why?
So angry. I don't know why I was so angry.
You don't know.
I know I was angry. I don't know why.
Would you mind if I cast a spell? Those handcuffs keep you from casting magic, but I would still be able to.
Magic?
Yes. It would just be there to see if you were telling the truth. As Zarini does cast Zone of Truth, are you choosing to fail?
Yeah.
Okay. She does.
Yeah, they agreed to it.
Yeah. She does.
I don't think they even cognized that they could.
This is like the worst police practices ever. So, you don't remember why you were so angry?
No, but I was angry. And it wasn't personal, but I don't know what that means.
You do hear from the back. It wasn't personal.
I don't know.
Casimir, don't you think that's strange? A, that they were able to kill him, and B, that they don't even know why. I suppose that is strange. Well, if that's all of your fooling around, Zarini, I would like to get answers. I will be here the whole time. Echinacea, if anything comes to your mind, Zarini sort of leans in. She is this warm but very serious individual, at least at this point in her life. I just want to know the truth. And we want justice accordingly.
I think I should face justice.
Well, we will let Casimir conduct his investigation, and we will act after that. Does that sound fair?
I think so.
Okay. She herself stands you up, unlocking the manacles from the chair, interlocking her arm with your elbow, and walking with you to this large bench where you are sat in the center, the manacles locked to the back, and shackles put at your feet. I'm
not going to run away.
This is for
Zone of Truth is still up.
Yes. This is for our safety as well as yours.
What?
The man you killed, man you say you killed, his name was Valor. And he wasn't just any sort of warrior. There is visible heartbreak on this man as he begins to talk about this individual. It wouldn't have taken just one person to kill him. So I want to know more, and I will know more.
It would...
Just breathe.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
The eyes well up. I will be exploring your thoughts. Think of that moment. He puts his hand...
They recoil.
Absolutely, yeah. He does put his thumb, you feel it on the front of your forehead, the side of his hand hitting your cheek and lower jaw as you begin, if you begin to think about this moment. Okay. You recall it. It's dived into the same unfortunate flashes hitting you. But there's something else. He sees it. You're able to see this heartbreak again on his face. He pushes further. This isn't yours.
I think still having just watched that happen again. I did it.
No. No, you didn't. As Casimir leans back and casts Dispel magic, tackling the specific memory, this focused point. As you feel the realization wash over you, this memory was implanted. This is a momentary modify memory that someone had assigned to you, had cast on you, to make you believe that you had killed Valor. The immediate recollection may be followed by relief, but there is more confusion. But there's more. As you blink, you're not in the Arcanum anymore, as it seems that this has touched on another memory that you've held deep within you. And we're going to move to a tavern at an undisclosed time. Echinacea. It's been a long day. You decided to go out with a girlfriend. This very stout dwarven woman, bearded, red hair. You know her by the name of Egret. Right, so I'm looking to get a man this evening, and if I don't, I'm going to fucking cry.
Well, I can't let you cry.
That's so... You know what? That's why you're my best friend. I very much appreciate it. She sort of kisses your knuckles like, I thank you very much.
They kiss hers back. So a man it is. Which one?
Sort of look around. You're looking... It's a pretty packed environment tonight at this tavern. You see a group that looks to be a bachelor party. As you look,
Steaming immediately.
What if I did something? But you see what looks to be this very sheepish Goliath man, quite lithe and skinny. Very uncharacteristic to the musings of these buff and quite muscular Goliath forms. He's sort of stirring what looks to be like a martini glass. And next to him you see this equally uncharacteristically muscular elven man, this long blonde hair up in a braid that is wrapped around the back of his head. He's kind of patting him on the shoulder, and it looks like he's giving him some kind of pep talk. He's just sort of, yeah, you're good. You got this. Absolutely. Come on. And as Egret sort of looks at you, I think I found him.
Which one?
I want the little one.
Which one's the little one?
The skinny one.
The Goliath?
Yeah.
Yeah. Alrighty.
What the fuck do you mean by that?
What does that mean? I'm 5 feet tall! They're all big! God, what would I do? What would I do? Okay. They pull out a little copper wire.
Oh.
Your wish is my command. They message this individual.
Oh, the Goliath man?
Yep.
Perfect.
You know, tonight's your lucky night.
He does jump, visibly just... You see the elven man? What the fuck was that? What the fuck was that? It's like, nothing, just nothing. Why do you say that?
My friend here, Egret,
Okay.
is the most beautiful woman in the room.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, good. Good start. And she thinks you're handsome.
There is a both mentally audible and visible gasp as he is just incredibly surprised by that notion. He's just, wait, really? Really?
Her favorite wine.
Favorite?
Do you see that bottle second from the right on the top hand shelf?
Second from the right hand? Yes, of course.
Get that for her.
He gets up immediately and starts walking. You see his friend sort of, what the fuck was... I will be back. Maybe not. I don't know. I have no idea. As he walks away, and as this muscular elven man is just sort of sitting, he's wearing this red tunic and these black leathered pants with tall brown boots. As he just sort of, did I get ditched? What the fuck just happened?
They message the Goliathman one more time. My seat will be empty. Be nice to her.
Of course.
Or else.
You're threatening to kill me.
I'm threatening to do something.
That's
So be nice to her.
Of course. Of course. I am a gentleman's gentleman. Thank you very much. And what was your name?
Echinacea, what's yours?
Roger.
Roger.
Yes. Spelled
Good luck, Roger.
Rogier. It should be Rogier, but he's just, my name's Roger.
Oh, that's very cute. Okay.
So he
And they will vacate the spot and they'll just sit next to the friend to give room.
You walk from this tall table and kind of scoot your way into this bench seat where this man is just, hi.
Hi, I'm really sorry. There are not a lot of chairs and your friend is taking mine.
Wait, what did he say?
Nothing yet.
And I'll say, just since you're actively paying attention to that conversation, you see as he approaches with the bottle under his arm and 2 glasses of the wine, as he sort of bows, my lady Egret, it is a pleasure to meet you. My name is Roger, and I would love to accompany you this evening for fine conversation, talkings of literature and music, and time to get to know you. And she's like, sure, sit down. Like she's there's no ceremony here. She's like, yes, absolutely. He puts down the wine glasses, places the bottle, and kind of excitedly hops up on the tall bar stool chair that you had vacated for him. And the elven man sort of, oh, got it.
Be nice.
He's the best. He's the best of us. Yeah.
He's the best of you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'm great. Don't get me wrong. I'm great, but he's got the smarts, he's a good guy.
Well, as long as he's a gentleman.
He is. He's that and more. I am Lorian, and you are?
Lorian, I'm Echinacea.
Pleasure. Nice to meet you. So, I would like to scheme with you if that's possible.
I've already begun, but sure, keep up.
I just want to... Presumptuous.
I made that happen.
I'm plenty
you
good
did
at
not.
I concede. I would like to help in making this work.
Oh. What do you mean?
Seems we both have a vested interest in our friendship's happiness.
Mm-hmm.
I know a bit of music. Can you do me a favor?
Maybe.
Try and get that lighting situation nice and calm.
Calm.
Intimate.
Get it calm. Intimate. There you go.
I am not a wordsmith. As you can see,
No.
I'm a bit... You're shit, and I think I like you. Pleasure to meet you, Echinacea. I'm gonna go grab my lyre. Don't mind me.
No.
What?
And a play or two.
No, I just like music.
Oh.
Okay.
No, I think that... I do genuinely think that was sweet.
Oh. Well, thank you. See if you can get the lights nice and calm. I'm sticking to my prior phrasing. Just to spite you at this point, I'm going to be very clear about that. Because I think you're going to take it in stride. And I appreciate that. Thank you.
Go get your lyre.
I'll meet you back here in like 10 minutes.
Yeah, I don't have to move. And they just start casting light in whatever, because they can pick the colors.
You can, yeah.
So they make this really warm amber light around the pair. Just these kind of like firefly motes.
Mm-hmm. Shit. He starts running out, trying to keep pace, obviously not doing so. But after a bit of time, he comes back, and Lorien begins to... he plays a few songs where people kind of begin to dance, and you see after a bit of time, Egret and Roger begin to do the same with one another, and this conversation growing between them is quite intimate. And after a certain point, Lorien comes up to you. All right, looks like another person has picked up music. Would you like to dance, Echinacea? Humor me, at least.
Only because you need the practice. They get off the stool.
You get up. The two of you dance for a while. And the night ends with Egret taking Roger home, not the other way around.
Yes, queen.
Yes, and you and Lorien kind of standing by as the night sort of calms. Having danced, having had conversations, sort of verbally sparring with one another. You're definitely smarter than he is, but he's a good sport. He's a very good sport, and he enjoys the game.
I think if they're like seeing their friends off, Roger is wonderful.
Told you, he's great.
I don't know if I can call him the best of you.
Why not? Wow.
Yeah.
That's very nice of you.
Well, it turns out you're very nice.
Well, you're mean, but I think in a way that I enjoy.
I am mean.
Well, if you'd like, maybe this time next week we can come back, do it again.
Same time next week. They take his hand and very gentlemanly kiss it.
He curtsies 100%.
God bless him.
He stands at about 6'5", so he's not a small individual. But he does kind of pull up his shirt, letting a little bit of ab show through, just to be a slight little tease. Bows. Right. Well, next week it is, Echinacea. Pleasure to meet you.
Until then, Lorien.
Unfortunately, this beautiful and happy memory comes to a close as you stir back in this room, Casimir sitting in front of you. There's realization on his face, having cast Detect Thoughts and already being present inside of your mind that he's seen parts of this. And you see on Casimir's face confusion and guilt. I'm sorry.
I don't understand.
I'm sorry.
I don't understand.
He unlocks the manacles and the shackles on your feet I'm so...
I don't understand. I don't understand.
I have a question for you, Button.
Mm-hmm.
Over the course of the last month, would they have noticed the ring on their finger?
I think so. I think they would have taken stock of everything.
Mm-hmm. As your hands kind of press to your face, I'd say that the image of that ring, there might be a little more context there. Echinacea, I apologize. You didn't do this.
I understand.
You didn't kill my husband. Madame Zarini, ready a room in my tower. Have somebody do that, please. She sort of stands. Echinacea, you have my fullest of apologies.
I don't understand.
I know. We will try and work on this together, if you would like.
What?
Is there anything you want to do in this time?
I think they have a full-blown trigger warning, content warning.
Yeah.
They have a full-blown panic attack.
Absolutely.
Just not... They just... Yeah, I don't think...
Yeah.
It's... There's so much... context shifting from what they have thought of themselves for the past month, but I think... Like, they live in both mindsets. There's this part of them that's still thinking they did it. And then a part of them that is trying to grapple with what it means that they didn't. And they're trying to place this man's face for sure, but I think it's one of those things where they obviously haven't seen his face in the past month.
Lorian's, I assume?
Yeah.
Okay,
Lorian's.
I was just double checking.
Yes, sorry.
No, that's okay. I was like, there are a few men that this could be referring to.
Yes, sorry.
It's okay.
They try to place where they were. They do, in the midst of this, they're trying to figure out where that was.
Okay.
And who he was.
Okay.
And why they remembered that.
Yeah. Since the memory came to you, you know that this place is in Sunwall, the city of Sunwall within the nations of Drifton. And the oh my god. No. That is the one thing. Do you have the name on hand? Fucking, I am so fucking smart.
I got rid of those notes, I'm sorry.
No, don't apologize. Bing, 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 bing. I'm just looking through. The Grey Fiddler. And the name of Lorien Belnades hits you.
I think they're repeating all of this information as it's coming to them. They're still sitting on this bench. It was in Sunwall, and it was at the Grey Fiddler, and his name was Lorien Belnades, and And that's in the nation of Triften. They're like trying to piece things together, but they only have so many pieces. They're just sitting with their eyes closed, like trying to... They're putting a puzzle together, but it's 3 pieces and then nothing.
Yeah, right. You sit trying to piece this together. After a bit of time, Ross comes in. All right, I have a room set up in your tower, Lord Casimir. Wonderful. Echinacea, if you wouldn't mind following me. It's just a place to say, so we can figure this out. You wouldn't... if you want.
I have to go find him.
We will...
I have to go find him.
We will look.
Oh, I killed him?
No, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if you've killed anybody. But you have... I would like to aid if I can.
Aid what? I don't know.
You've been captive here for a month at my order. For us and you to find out that you did not do this. This isn't justice.
I don't understand. I think they just let themselves be led wherever.
Yeah. As Casimir and Ross walk you to his tower, that is where we're going to take a break.
Break time!
We're going to take a little break. Thank you guys for chilling and watching Echinacea Session 0.
Echinacea!
Woo! We'll be back at X amount of time, but since it's pre-recorded, we're going to do our thing for a minute. Thank you guys. Button, thank you. This character is amazing, and what you're bringing to this world is incredible. Thank you so much.
Thank you for letting me into this world.
Of course. And I'm
so excited.
Same! And we'll see you guys shortly. Bye. Hello, everybody. I hate it when you do that one. I hate it when you do nothing. I fucking am on the edge of my seat waiting for you to be a dickhead, and nothing happens. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Echinacea Session 0. Button is obviously playing Echinacea, this incredible Aasimar Wizard. And I'm Alec. I am the one that causes the sandstorm to happen.
My brain got scrambled.
So, for context for you guys, and obviously for Echinacea, we are going to jump a little bit. You eat your dick and balls. We're going to jump about a month after the discoveries that these memories of killing Valor were implanted. That there is a man named Lorien that seems very close to Echinacea's heart. There's obviously a ring on their finger, but they've been staying inside of Casimir's tower, his wizard's tower, inside of the walls of the Magus Arcanum. Echinacea.
Sorry.
You've been given freedom here to decorate your room.
That's great. I'd like to go to Sunwall.
This was Alec saying, do you want to describe your space?
I know. Sorry. I'm being a shit.
That's fair. That's honestly acceptable. You don't have to either, yeah.
They, well, would they get to go to Sunwall if they asked?
No.
Okay. They're grumpy about that.
That makes sense, yeah.
They are less than pleased. We'll have a conversation about that, I imagine. But their room! I think taking to the gardening that Ross has shown them, it is just covered in plants. And they have just a natural... they have a knack for gardening. They have a green thumb. Lots of flowers, lots of creeping vines. The flowers are all tended to almost... like, there are loving gardens, and then there are gardens where the soil of each plant seems to be not just what that individual plant needs, but it seems as if when they are working, they're talking to the plant and making the teeniest adjustments based on needs that couldn't have possibly been expressed to them.
Yeah.
How they feel.
There is a knock on your door, followed by a very loud "Oof!" Echinacea, can we come in? It's Casimir and Duke.
Yes, I imagine they can open this door.
You can open this door.
Damn, the bit dies.
The bit dies! As you open the door.
Yes.
Okay, Duke immediately jumps up, putting his paws over their shoulder. This dog is a dark black Great Dane-like dog with these cropped, pointed up ears. He just immediately, and just is like licking your face, is immediately just expressing this deep gratitude for a human that is not Casimir.
Oh, hello, puppy. I love Duke. Oh, you have so much to say.
Okay, enough. I brought tea. Yeah, Casimir kind of walks in, sits at the table, and drops some chamomile tea. How are you doing this afternoon?
I want to go to Sunwall.
I respect that. Sunwall is a dangerous place.
Okay.
I would like to work up to going to Sunwall.
Why?
Do you feel prepared to go and tackle Sunwall by yourself?
What do you mean, tackle Sunwall? I want to see if he's there.
He places the book that he has on the table in front of you. I found records. If you wanted to look through them. Immediately take that shit. Yeah. That makes sense. You look through.
Belrose.
Yep. And you find a name in a registry for one Lorien and Echinacea Belrose.
Oof.
There is a shared home in where's Roll20? In Elaine Bell, which is snow-covered on the northwestern part of the Republic of Shenthir, on the opposite side of the Wyvern Peaks. Those are W-E-Y-V-E-R-N, Wyvern Peaks.
Fuck you, Google. I spelled that the way he told me to. Okay, sorry.
It's not I wanted to be a bitch, so it's not Wyvern, it's Wyvern. It's just, I'm a dick. It seems to be a cabin home that was built by Lorien himself. There are the permits that are in there, but it seems he's gone missing. There is not a date of death, but after a certain point, you're in the year 946, it seems he went missing in the year 390. I'm sorry. 890. Jesus Christ. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. So sorry. That was... Hey, remember when I said get those flubs out immediately? I saved the worst possible one. No. 890 PS. So about 50 years ago.
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
Okay.
I'm so sorry. This is when he went missing. Yes?
That's a long time ago.
It is.
I have a memory. Do you think he went missing and then I met him? But my name is...
It looks like the two of you were married.
Am I 50? I'd have to be older than 50.
You would have to be older than 50. Your body looks like you are... Because they are of elven lineage, correct?
I mean, they're an Aasimar, but
yeah,
that they wouldn't know
That's
anything
fair,
beyond that.
You look to have elven lineage. So I imagine you have an elven lifespan. So...
What does that mean?
You could be 100, I'd say upwards of 500 years old. But I am unsure.
They have a marriage certificate, but not birthdays?
Your birthday, you look at the marriage certificate, which the marriage certificate was in 882 PS. And on that marriage certificate, it places your birthday. It is boop, 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 boop. That's what I needed up my calendar. I'm such a good dungeon master.
You are.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I was just
Proud of
affirming
you.
it. Thank you. Bing bong. So, why? Oh, that's why. Okay. So your birthday is Dwy Day, the 12th. Of him, which is HIHM, which is about the equivalent of March, of the year 535 PS.
Okay. I'm 400? How old is he?
He is 500. Lorian is.
They're 400 and he's 500?
Mm-hmm.
Cradle robber. Sorry.
Quick pause. We could change that.
No, I love it. I
Because you
think it's
didn't meet
hilarious.
until later in life, so they...
No, absolutely. They're both adults.
I know, it's just one of those
funny.
things that's like you can't fucking tell because you're elven. Like, what do you mean?
That made me laugh.
Okay.
No, I love that.
Yes, he's about 500. Or at least he should be.
Aasimar, what happened? They do that.
Slam the table. Echinacea,
Aasimar.
we don't know.
What happened in 890?
890 was a strange... Yeah, there were a few rebellions. There was an attack on the Scorched Isle by the Legionnaires of Josiah too, but that was thwarted quite easily. But in the northern parts of the Republic, rifts opened. One's reminiscent of the Blight Siege back in the early days of post-Scourge era. The Shadowfell began to bleed through, but these looked like isolated incidents. So near, the only thing that I could find decent record of is a front mounted in between Ilinbel and Ontalos, where...
Wait. Ilinbel?
Ilinbel and Ontalos.
Oh.
Which are two cities in the northern section of the Republic.
Lane Bell is where we lived.
Exactly, yes.
And Untalas, okay.
Is a little bit south.
Okay.
A front was mounted. There were Arcanum soldiers. There were Elven guards of the Lorethian line, which Lorien was a part of.
Wait, what does that mean?
Descendants of Corellon Lorethian. They were soldiers. There is...
For whom?
The Elven
Serving
Republic.
whom?
The Elven Republic of Shenthir.
Shenthir soldier.
Yes. He was a captain. Well decorated. And it seems that after these small Blight Siege-esque outbursts, that's when he went missing. At least that's the last known record of him. I'm sorry.
Where was I? Where was I?
I am unsure.
Where was I?
I don't know.
They try to remember where they were.
Unfortunately, sitting and remembering, nothing comes to you.
They get a look on their face. It's probably very familiar to Casimir by this point.
Uh-huh.
Just angry with himself. They just sit back in their chair.
I think that things were taken from you. That much is obvious. And I don't think you should beat yourself up over something that was stolen.
400 years?
I know.
Of a life?
I know. I'm sorry. You've mentioned about a month ago to Ross, an elven woman. Is that correct? You mentioned a black raven-like creature.
Yes.
Reports are that on this field of battle, there were sightings of a similar bird, a large black raven-like creature, with a woman riding atop it. So, I think if he was dead, we would have found him.
Why?
Because there are records of dead left on that field of battle. Lorien is not among them. I understand your desire to go to Sunwall.
I want to go to Elaine Bell.
That is more realistic. It will take time to plan, and I'm sorry for that.
Why can't I just go?
If this person is still out there, we believe they are. We don't know what will happen if they get you. And I fear that if they get you, we will be unable to find answers. I found this and I wanted to show it to you. As an act of trust. And I came to give you this. He pulls out of his bag what looks to be a necklace. 2 golden hands wrapped around a red jewel. It is a periapt of health. One that you already have in your inventory. You can equip that now. The world is a dangerous one, and you don't have a lot of insight on it. This will keep you safe. At least safer than we can. Ilinbel can be in the cards, Echinacea. But there is someone coming to the Arcanum that I think you would like to meet.
Why?
Your stories feel similar. And a hopeful thought of mine is maybe you can help each other. And I just think that would be best. It seems that there are influences here from other planes. And there have been bleeds from the Feywild into our material plane. I think they would be worth investigating, and I think it would be good if you did that.
I've never investigated anything.
But there is a desire to.
Why can't I go now? Why? Well, I'm going now. They start packing a little knapsack.
He just sort of sits next to where they're packing. I think if you go to Sunwell now, you'll get killed. I think if you go to Ilinbel now, unprepared, and without any information on what happened, it could be dangerous.
But you think that exploring the Feywild bleeding into the Shadowfell is safe? No, you want to use me. That is what this is. They're angrily setting about that. Why would a rift to the Feywild be safer, Casimir?
Give me an insight check.
Where's my insight? I'm not a druid anymore.
I'm not a druid anymore.
13.
This frustration, not at you. You can see, as you're sort of angrily packing, Casimir kind of looks around the space and takes a long look at the cloak he's wearing. The Arcanum wants to build trust with you. They want to help on a contingent.
Am I allowed to leave, Casimir?
No.
Then I don't trust the Arcanum.
I apologize.
We know that I didn't do this. And I'm not allowed to leave. This is not due process, and on whose authority is the Arcanum allowed to make those decisions?
The Arcanum's
Are they
authority.
attached to a government?
Yes.
Which one?
The trilateral governments. So, they work in tandem with Shenthir, Kolderol, and, as of now, the nations of Driften. But the nations of Driften have been uprooting our organizations in their lands.
I don't blame them.
I can assure you the Sunwall Academy is worse.
I have been kept here without due process.
You're right. This isn't justice. I don't believe this is justice. Selfishly, I don't want to send you into the world without allies, or people who could help you. I am wrapped in political red tape where I am unable to do what I want to do. People of your ilk coming here, wanting answers themselves, that would be the best avenue to get you out of here. I don't like keeping any human being captive.
So you're saying let the Arcanum use me to go die exploring the Feywild instead?
With that, you won't die. Not easily. Sort of looks at the necklace. The Arcanum, there's this inhale and almost a shudder to his exhale. You imagine it is at the frustration of what he is about to say. They want to build trust. They want to know that you can be trusted. Apparently your innocence isn't good enough for them. I promise you it is good enough for me, but I unfortunately have to answer to people.
I believe that you don't have to, but that you're afraid of the consequences of making the choice to not. They all 5 feet of themselves stand up.
I think you're right. I also want to learn what happened to Valor. If this woman has anything to do with it, I want to help you find her and bring justice.
There's this look of guilt. I think they haven't truly cognized that they didn't do it yet.
Yeah.
Even though they're aware that they didn't.
Absolutely. How do you shake that feeling, right? Like, how do you, yeah.
I want that for you too.
It's sad how pathetic he seems in this moment as he drops to his knees.
I'm sorry, I want that for you too. I'm sorry.
I'm
sorry.
Lets out tears.
I'm sorry.
I trust you. And I want to help you. I am not owed your help. But the answers that you find can also help me, so selfishly I beg of you. I loved him. I still do. And I dread the day that I was unable to help him.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
You didn't do it. He grabs your hands and like strongly, and you're able to see as he does these lightning like scars on his hands, this faint tracing of blue. You did not do this to my Valor. You did not. He looks at you strongly, tears still flowing down his face. Just, I believe you. I just want to help. As soon as we can detach, and catching himself saying we, there's a moment of, the sooner the trust of the Arcanum is given, the sooner you are out of its reach. And you can operate of your own free will, and I am sorry that that is not right now. If I could change it, I would.
They have a sense, now that they're at the Arcanum, of the impressive magic people are capable of.
Mm-hmm.
Aasimar, all I can do is make a little hole in space appear so that I can climb into it. I don't know how to do anything. I don't know. I don't know how.
You'll learn.
How?
I'll teach you. I was a teacher once. I would like to be that again.
You're a teacher.
Regrettably, yes. I taught at the Sunwall Academy. Dreadful things. I think if I could teach you anything about magics, you could use them for good. To bring light in this world instead of the darkness that I taught at that school.
I don't understand.
I'm sorry. I just asked for your time. And your patience and the trust I do not deserve.
I think that lingering guilt compels what otherwise might be a continuation of the argument they, I imagine, have every day. Instead, they just say, of course.
He goes to his backpack. This long over-the-shoulder bag. I didn't say Pinterest, you fat piece of shit. You have access.
Stop yelling at Pinterest.
I was yelling at Google, but I guess Pinterest was in the... you have access to second-level spells, correct?
Yeah. I have 2 of them.
Okay.
Which are Misty Step and Rope Trick. Like I said, I can make a cute little hidey hole.
You can make a cute little hidey hole. You are given a spell scroll to jot down into your spell book.
I would full wizard, like, I scroll.
Knowing that Button loves wizards and being like, oh, wow. I would like you, this is a scroll of Jeebus Vortex Warp.
Oh! Ah! Oh!
So you can add Vortex Warp to your spell book.
Oh!
This gives you the ability to control the battlefield for you or your allies if needed. Displacing those. And, I'd say it's fair to say at this point, your brief hints of restorative magics have been noted.
Have they?
That's a good question.
Okay.
What do you think?
Has Echinacea had to use them?
I have the terrible thought just to like make Ross really just hurt himself, like trip, and then they're just kind of like,
What?
What do you think?
Rosser, I think they would only know to use them if someone was in dire need of it, because I don't think it would just happen naturally, given that they don't remember the...
Absolutely.
It's not...
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I will say that... Bless you.
Thank you.
I'm just trying to think of a situation that would make sense.
I was thinking that it didn't happen, but
okay, that's fine.
It's up to you. Do you want Casimir to know?
Not if it doesn't make sense. And I think you're right. I don't think it makes sense. So I'll cut that. But this will be able to help you. Mobility, movement, displacing those on the field if needed.
This is very generous.
It's deserved. All I ask is that you stay here until this individual arrives. See what they say. And see if you want to help. You can tell me to go fuck myself then. If you don't want to.
If I did that, would the Arcanum actually let me go?
Shamefully looks down.
I imagine that's how I get out. So, I agree.
He looks around the room, looks at Duke. Would you like some company for the evening? Duke is just like sitting. This whole really tense conversation has been happening. He's been on his back, shaking his ass, like waiting for belly rubs the whole time.
They get down and start giving him belly rubs. Oh my goodness.
He's like, I think that's a yes from him.
Casimir.
Yes.
I'm very grateful to you.
Not knowing how to take that. Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. They trail off.
Just not knowing how to take that, given the context of everything. Well, I will leave you to your evening. I will bring dinner when it's done. Duke, be a good boy. He's sort of whoop, like he doesn't know how to do anything else.
He is a good boy.
He's a good boy. Casimir sort of bows and leaves the room. You have... Is there anything that you want to do with the afternoon and evening? If not, that food...
Yes.
Well, all right.
I do. The Arcanum has a library?
Yes, I do.
I want to look up
the worst thing
phoenixes.
I possibly could have done was give Button access to a library. Session 0. Okay, so you head to the library's front desk. You are met by an elderly halfling woman, gray. There's a beehive, white hair, shock white hair. This little bit of peach fuzz. She's got a nice little mole on her face. These big square glasses. Hello, sweetheart, how can I help you?
Hello, thank you very much. I would like to look up your section on mythical creatures, specifically phoenixes and maybe large ravens.
Phoenixes and large ravens. Okay.
Mythical fowl.
Ha, birds. Yes. Okay. And your name?
Echinacea.
She's like slowly writing the name into like a log of people who have come into the library. All right. Well, it is the Dewey Decimal System. You walk
Perfect.
back. P.
That's the Library of Congress.
Fuck you.
Sorry.
No, don't apologize. I'm angry. Yeah, like, hey, it actually isn't that one.
Yeah, the Dewey Decimal System is only numeric. We've got alphanumeric in the Library of Congress.
Okay. Well, then Button is a librarian, if people didn't know. And I'm like, oh. But you do find the section on mythical creatures and particularly phoenixes.
I'd like to investigate.
Give me an investigation.
Looking for instances that align with mine.
Give me a...
Fuck you! I rolled a 3 on the dice for a 10.
No!
10's not shitty!
10's not shitty, but it's not great.
10's not great!
No.
Fuck.
You,
Sorry?
No. Don't apologize. You do find something interesting. Phoenixes moving through the plains create a bit of a pyrotechnic show of sorts. Between reading this, you look through records of mythical creatures throughout the realms of Tolesh, and you are able to find about that there was one of these events that took place in the northern parts of the Republic, specifically between Ontalos, nearing Squall's End, which is in the Nations of Driften. And it seemed to be a phoenix entering the material plane. This was about 50 years ago.
50 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
Which is when Lorien disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
It entered the material... Okay. Putting this in all caps for my dumb brain.
No, you're fine. You're good. You are able to find that, for sure.
So I know that one entered the material plane.
50
Do I
years.
know from where?
You do not know from what plane in specifics.
Boo. No. Okay.
That is fair. I will take the boo. Boo.
Okay. Huh. Okay.
But you are able to. Yes, Phoenix are typically neutral creatures that align themselves with entities that they deem worthy of their trust and their devotion and their time. Mythical beings are known to not select champions per se, but to take on this sort of parental benefactor-like relationship with some individuals. That's a rare commodity. Given the phoenix feather you have, the fact that it wasn't taken from you, the fact that it still exists, seems to be a reference to possibly that trust, that devotion, that care of one of these beings.
Would... I imagine... We don't have to RP it, but I imagine if Echinacea asked, Casimir would have told them where they were taken?
Yes, absolutely. Yes. You were nabbed. Such a weird fucking thing to say.
Their first memory takes place in... The
first memory takes place in Kaelkirk, which is a city between Shalore and Wavalen, and that is spelled Caelkirk.
And what were the two cities it's between?
It is between... I'm sorry, I have all of these. It is between Shalore and Wavalen, which are both southern to Alden Gate.
south of Alden Gate.
Correct.
But still
within the Republic. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is a very small town, population not really exceeding 200 people.
Casimir's coming back that night? Sorry.
Casimir comes back to deliver dinner, yes. He sort of,
Casimir.
all right, yes.
There has to be a reason why you found me in Kael'Kirk.
Yes. I imagine so. Do you mean, what do I know?
Yes.
That makes sense. I'm so fucking stupid.
No, you're very smart.
There was a hubbub in Kael'Kirk. A very small, humble town, but something was taken. A relic of sorts for one Corellon Lorethian. Hilt of a blade. And then fires started about town. And then we found you. We thought somebody was just doing arson, but then when we heard of the missing blade hilt, we called in reinforcements. Von Thanes, Henri, and I were there, just doing diplomatic work, just checking in on the populace. And then we found you.
But you already knew me.
We had a description.
When?
What do you mean when?
You'd never seen me before?
No.
They recall the fact that his face was familiar to them?
Mm-hmm.
I don't... Casimir, I swear for a moment I knew you.
He kind of... I wonder if it is a remnant of the modified memory.
But if you didn't... I just don't understand... How... Then someone else... Then whoever did it knew you. If that's true.
Yes. That seems correct.
That seems to make no sense to me.
How so?
That they would know you, but you wouldn't know whoever did it. Why would you be familiar?
It's fair. He sort of looks... I'm gonna make... I think you... I'm not sure. I looked familiar to you. I suppose I will have to think about that more. I'm sorry.
You said that Lorien was an elven guard of the Lorethian line?
Yes.
Are there... the thing that was taken... Are there... artifacts that can only be used by people connected to the entity?
Yes.
That one.
Yes. It was.
What was it?
It was said to be the blade hilt that Corellon crafted during the Battle of Eroshni, where Tiamat was bound back to Avernus, towards the tail end of the Scale Scourge. A weapon crafted by his divine artistry, which it can only be used by those of Lorethian blood. There is a Lorethian here in Aldengate.
What?
One Sigorn Lorethian. He is the headmaster of the Toleshan Academy of the Arcane, just across town.
Can I talk to him?
We can orchestrate a meeting. I am willing to orchestrate a meeting, yes.
The sword can only be used by those of Lorethian blood.
Yes.
And Lorien.
Lorien one was. He was one, yes.
Someone's using him.
I'm going to give you a point of inspiration for that discovery.
Ooh!
Look at you!
Oh, yeah.
There's your first Alec inspiration for the campaign, baby!
Thank you!
And the inspiration rules, we let 3 stack at a time, and you're able to give that inspiration freely if you choose, or use it to re-roll.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're
Wow.
welcome. That was a very good... You're like, I'm like, oh shit. Okay.
Hello, I wield the red string.
You're Charlie Day from It's Always Sunny, like, look at it! That unfortunately makes a lot of sense. Okay, well, now we have a string to pull on. Yes?
Did it do anything?
It was a
The
vestige.
sword. I don't know anything, Casimir. What does that mean?
The alloyed vestiges were created by Corellon during the Scale Scourge. Items of immense divine power that grew alongside the wielder, so it could do different things at different points, once the weapon itself deemed you worthy. It's said that it was a powerful weapon that was able to bolster allies' defenses, grant healing, and even gives access to magic within the blade, casting from it. But this is at its exalted state, at its most perfect.
I have one memory of him, and he was the nicest person I've ever known.
I'm so sorry. We'll find him, Echinacea. I implore you to look at that as hopeful. He is out there.
I'm technically out there, but I'm not the person he knew either. Maybe he's empty too.
You remembered him? I think that's something, and I think it's beautiful. Given everything, whatever trauma, physical, mental, magical you've been through, you remembered him. And you remembered that kindness. Know that I hold the same things of valor. And I let them propel me forward. If you can, I implore you to do the same. In your own time.
Thank you.
Sort of. Please?
They nod. And this is the night Echinacea starts looking into resurrection.
Perfect. Deep into your research this night, there's one more knock on your door. Hello? Oh, haha.
Hi, Russ.
Hi, Echinacea.
There you go, open the door.
Walks
The
in.
himbo.
Hi.
Hello.
So, I wanted to do something nice.
You're always nice.
I wanted to do something nicer. I know you've been cooped up here. Cooped up is a polite way of saying held prisoner, and I'm sorry for that. Can I take you to a garden outside of the walls? Secretly?
Yes.
Will you keep that to yourself?
Yes. You run and get a cloak.
Okay,
like, yes.
Okay.
They like took all of their hair, which is still floating behind us.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Duke is fucking gone. He's fast asleep, just conked.
Okay.
And Ross sort of puts his elbow out. Well, let's go. We gotta move swiftly. He sort of lifts them, puts them in his arms, princess style, and starts like running. Is this okay? I can put you down if you want.
No, this is good.
Okay. Ross is gonna roll a stealth check. Is there any way you would like to assist?
Oh my god, can I? One sec.
No, you're good.
Hi.
And he is not wearing his armor at this point, so he will not provoke disadvantage from his heavy armor.
Oh, nice. So they will keep an eye out, and if anyone seems to be keeping watch, they'll cast silvery barbs to give them disadvantage and then him advantage on himself.
Okay, perfect. You do see, as Ross is running, you're kind of peeking over his shoulder. You see a tall topaz dragonborn, similar Knight of the Cloth, who sort of walks out of a room, and he's going to make a perception check.
No.
Okay. Natural one. Which will give Ross advantage.
For the next minute, Ross has advantage on a roll.
Okay.
Use that as you see fit.
He rolled an 18, plus his dex mod of 2, which is a 20. So you guys are able to stealthily make it out of the Arcanum, and I will let that roll carry over to your outside of the walls of the Magus Arcanum.
Freedom.
Did you say yeah? Did you say hate him?
Freedom. I said freedom.
Oh, freedom. You guys are walking. The cool night of summer's end is beginning to hit you. You see above head large griffins flying with men in white ivory armor sitting atop them.
What?
What in the fuck? A Griffin Rider from the Solar Guard.
The Solar Guard are in Alden Gate?
Yeah, they're everywhere.
How the fuck does this all work? Why are there Solar Guard here if they are working for Driften?
Well, they still have people. They still have people paying them here. So until the secession is.
Oh, they're mercenaries.
Yeah, right.
I thought that they were an actual military organization.
No, they're a bunch of mercs.
Of a country.
No, they're hoping to form it, I think, but right now they're still mercenaries.
I think they're succeeding.
Yep. Ross just sort of. Fuck you. Yeah, flip them up. Yeah. They're dicks. But you walk through the night, you see a few small but portly what look to be squirrel gopher-like creatures that sort of run up. They're this like mossy green, and they just sort of as they kind of look toward Ross's feet. He's like, oh Jesus. He drops a seed and they just big crunch. You see these large buck teeth. And I'm like, Ross is like, all right, yeah.
Can I feed them?
Yeah, he hands you some seeds. I call them dough rollers. They just look like uncooked dough.
No rollers.
But these are called mountain squirrels.
Oh.
The dough rollers is the cutesy name. The mountain squirrels is the actual name.
Got it.
You got so dough rollers.
Yeah.
But Ross is walking to a garden and he says, take a couple hours to walk around and enjoy it.
Thank you.
I'll be around. I'm going to run back to the Arcanum, make sure that nobody trailed us, but I'll be back.
Okay.
Have fun.
Thank you.
Yeah. As Ross sets off, what are you doing in this space?
I'm in the garden technically doing what he said, but I'm looking at everything else.
Yeah, you're like, oh yeah, garden, what the fuck is up here?
Right? And then they're drawn to both, right? Like there's this desire to spend the time doing as much as possible while free.
Yeah.
And like the impulse to just go hits several times. Ross will get in trouble, and then they stay in.
No!
Fuck.
Okay. Are you looking for anything in particular, or just sort of taking in the sights? Just sort of assessing as you watch?
They will, like, they'll, like, scoot up into, like, a rose bush.
Yeah.
And kind of peeking over. They'll start talking to the flowers as they say, so what's the deal here? How does this work? Are there married people here? What are they like? What does it mean?
Oh. I'm so sorry. It came out of me. A demon left.
The demon left.
Okay. As you're sort of interrogating these flowers with politeness, could you give me a perception check, please?
9.
9?
9. I'm not a druid anymore.
I'm sorry. With a 9, you're able to hear the rustling before you see the form. Just sort of past the flowers as this shadow-like entity stands in your periphery. Sort of amorphous for a moment until you see it begin to take on the shape of what looks to be a bald elven man with a bald mask elven figure with no facial features.
No facial features like shadow or like a blank skin slate?
Like you can see like the ridge of a nose, but there's no definition.
So it's not shadow,
No, it's
skin?
Yeah.
You're excused.
You reckon Aisha right?
That's very interesting. I don't know your name.
Neither do I. We have that in common. But I have something of yours. At least a piece of it.
What does that mean? I don't have things.
The thing she took from you. Koliada.
Who is that?
Elven woman. Angry. Winter-laced. She summoned us here.
What does that mean? Why?
She needed key holders.
Keys to what?
The core memories she took from you.
Keys to memories?
To the core memories that she took from you. I'm what's known as a Corberay. Corbeaure.
Then why are you here?
I've spent too long on the material plane, and I don't think she took that into account. I can feel parts of myself coming back. At least the person I was.
Well, that's good.
It's not because I feel the guilt. Not the anger that she settled onto us. I don't have long. I want to give this back. You see, as he pushes his hand into himself.
No.
It's yours. It's yours.
Triggered. Fucking
yeah.
Triggered.
As the form still stands, but this black shard stands in there, floats in their hand. I don't have all of the information. She was smart that way. But I know that there are more like me. And some of them might not be amicable enough to give these back to you. So you have to take them.
I don't work that way.
She stole them from you. And there's this struggle within this being. This sort of knowing what they are now and the influx of what they were before. This sort of opposing existence. She summoned us as tools, used our mortal weaknesses to fuel us, to serve her cause. But her cause is wrong.
What is her cause?
She wants to destroy the line of Larethian.
Why?
He betrayed her, apparently. She summoned us and we formed a pact with her for a chance for freedom. I can give you the words of this pact. You can see his form beginning to turn into shadow, shifting. Okay. Until our rage subsides, we will hunt the line of Corellon Larethian. Any and all that interfere will be met with our wrath. I think I found the loophole of this little fey pact. I'm not angry anymore. I'm horrified. I'm sorry.
It's going. I'm not angry with you. They go up to this entity. You obviously need help.
I want to rest.
Okay.
I can rest if you take your shard and gain back a core memory. A piece of yourself that was stolen by a vengeful Ice Queen.
Don't. Please tell me where your rage led you before now.
He sort of tilts. Your Lorien. She has him. A different breed of Corbereau corrupted him, but he's alive. The likes like me are meant to hold your memories, maintain the spell she cast. I, of my own free will for once, give this back to you. Mm-hmm.
I think they look at it. What happens to you if I take it?
You see the face that begins to become more amorphous, shadow-like. You see the faint grin lines in the same way that you can see the faint, like, mannequin-like face. I won't be this anymore. Hopefully, I'll be able to find some sort of rest with the matron, as some justice will be done.
She dances with you.
He extends his hand forward.
As they close their hands around it, without knowing what precisely is happening, but feeling that they want something good to happen for this entity. I don't think it'll do anything, but they cast Spare the Dying.
Give me an Arcana check. We are in a time of high magic, and I want to see what we get here.
An Arcana check is
Yes.
26.
26. So, you take this in your hand, and the obsidian begins to shatter and becomes these bright, fluorescent pink blossom-like motes that begin to flow within you. And before we see what happens to the Shadow Man, we will stop at a core memory of Echinacea's. The day that they graduated from the Wavern Peaks Botanical School of Medicine. You stand in a room of your peers, Egret, the woman from your first memory, standing next to you, looking at you saying, "Would you look at that? All those nights of studying, looking at fucking plants, and we can finally help people with what we can do."
We can finally help.
You're going to make a really good doctor.
So are you.
Thank you very much. You see in the stands Roger applauding with two small dwarven children.
Oh.
And Lorien whooping and screaming, applauding in the audience for you. The
He's loud. I love it.
Woo! The valedictorian, who is this this human man. We've all dedicated time to the art of medicine, to the art of preserving life instead of taking it. I've seen what all of you bring, and I'm proud to be among you. May we take what we've learned in Wavern Peaks and bring it to Tolesh, and fuck it, to Aosha. Let's make this world better. Everybody throws their caps. And these memories and these feelings, this love for healing, this love for plants, this drive to become a doctor. And then this is the first time that you've cast a restorative spell. Spare the dying. You see as the shadowed form, I'm gonna cry. Sorry.
Oh no. No, I'm gonna cry.
Begins to take color. As you see a Shatter Kai individual. Tattoos on his neck, heavily scarred, wearing deep browns and blacks. Oh, he looks at a corporeal form he never thought he'd see again.
Hey, are you okay? You're probably not okay.
Give me another perception check. With advantage.
Ah! With advantage? Please be better. Okay. 15.
15. You hear large wing flaps. As a bird, a large raven-like creature, flits its wings and begins to step. You see tall black heels, a long Victorian gown, and a white porcelain mask approach the Shatterkai from behind. It seems that you got the redemption you were looking for, Thomas. I've come to take you home. You see tears. I've done a lot of wrong, and I don't know if I've earned it. I did one good deed, and that's enough. No, it isn't enough. But what you know, as she sort of looks to you, might be able to help. You will serve time in the Shadowfell, and we will be in contact with you, Echinacea. At least he will.
They say thank you and thank you in the highest pitch voice. They're like, that's the one of the few things they're like fucking sure of in this world. That's the fucking Raven Queen. They're like,
what the fuck? You see as Thomas looks to you. If I'm to figure out more and help, if I'm given that, trust that I will. You're looking for Kolyada. That's the name. As she walks behind, you have a chance to say something as the wings begin to envelop him.
if Lorien ever dances with you, will you let me know?
She sort of looks. He's still alive. You have the chance to dance with him again. As the wings furl, wrapping around Thomas, flitting, disappearing into a spectral array of purple feathers. As Ross, hey, how's it? Oh, are you okay? Do you need a hug?
Yeah, Ross.
Ross comes and gives them the biggest, warmest hug.
Oh.
And as they walk back, that is where we're going to end our session 0.
Oh no! The meteors! Fuck!
Thank you guys for chilling out and watching this session 0 with the incomparable Bluebluebutton, who will be joining us as Echinacea. Aasimar Wizard, you want to tell people who you are and where they can find you?
I'm Button. I'm Bluebluebutton on social media. You can find me around, but I do a lot of stuff here. I do Heroes of Hysteria, Unearthed Inheritance. I do this, and I have maybe a couple other things.
Maybe a couple
and Tabletop RPG.
And which, guys, if you didn't know, the acronym is TTRPG. Isn't that funny? Button, thank you so much for being here. I have been honored to bring Echinacea into this world, and I am so excited for the entire campaign.
Thank you for this. It's beautiful.
I'm Alec. My pronouns are he, him. You can find me all places at CommuneDM. I am the host. I'm the Dungeon Master of Known Realms Tolesh, which is our new 5th edition campaign here. I am a player in Heroes of Hysteria, Unearthed Inheritance, and I'm the co-host of Table Talk RPG. I do all sorts of other stuff, TTRPG related, on the internet, so you can find me there. Thank you, and we will see you guys in the next adventure. Bye.
See you soon.
Hey guys, Alec here. Thank you so much for hanging out and watching our first session 0 for Known Realms Tolesh, the session 0 of Echinacea Belrose. Thank you guys for chilling out. I know it's a Saturday. We're usually on Sundays. Huge thank you to Button, who obviously has jumped into this adventure with us, and it was a pretty difficult session 0 to to dive into, as you can see. So they're an absolute champion, and I appreciate their time, care, and understanding as we move into this journey. So thank you guys. Hold on for our raid. We're going to throw you over to our friends over at Dice Legends. We will see you guys tomorrow for Known Realms Chapter 25. And until then, we'll see you guys then. Ha ha ha, bye.